Speaking of incredible, you mentioned it earlier in the show, the music.
Yeah.
We hear it's amazing. How were you able to come up with turning Kurt's WWE music into this cinematic sound?
Well, I gotta give all the credit to that to our composer. His name's Kevin Ripple. He did a phenomenal job on this. He spent, I like everyone else, I bugged the hell out of him for probably a 6-month stretch during early COVID, and he did an incredible job. And I always knew I wanted to do that, and I've seen a couple people attempt it in the past, and other pieces on Kurt when I was doing research, and I didn't feel like they nailed it on the head. And I really wanted to find someone who was able to nail that. And this guy took a couple stabs at it, and within like 2 or 3 stabs, he sent it to me, and I was like, oh my God, this is mind-blowing. And you'll hear it first in the opening titles that's in this version that's not in the A&E thing. Actually, as a matter of fact, almost none of his music is in the A&E thing, which I was a little bit happy about. Because recutting a movie is very difficult, and the music has to line up to the movie. So you have to take all the music out in order to recut something. So all of his music, and I really hope that he gets a separate release for the soundtrack as well, because he's talking to a company about that now, and his label. But it is just so fascinating the way he takes multiple parts of Kurt's WWE theme, which originally was made by Joe Johnson, and who happens to be the uncle of a good friend of mine growing up, oddly enough. But the theme always struck me, even though it's like has a comical element to it and it has that pop to it. There was something dramatic underneath it that I always felt. I would like pump it I would be in the gym like getting a pump to it and stuff. I was like, there's like a dramatic element here that's like lying right under the surface that like no one's really like delved into yet. And I sent it to the composer, and he just crushed it. And he does it in different ways throughout the movie. It's obviously it's a very highly cinematic score.
So versatile. Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to fans seeing the opening titles, the end titles, and when Kurt wins the gold medal. That's when you'll hear it the most. But there's also other moments throughout the whole movie where you'll hear it as well.
Well, Alex, are there any other fun tidbits that fans should know about from the stuff?
Yeah, I just want to name drop one other person. Ann Dern did a terrific song for us as well during Kurt's World Championship win in 1995. Fun tidbits. Let me. So yeah, this will show how crazy I was on this movie. Like, one thing I did was for all of our B-roll shots. I probably won't do this again. This is probably going too far. But for all of our B-roll shots in the movie, I put authentic props from Kurt's life in the frame. So whenever you see something in the frame, it's actually something from Kurt's life. And the most impressive of those, I don't even know why I did this looking back, but the most impressive of those was probably his Olympic singlet that he actually won the Olympics in. I wasn't able to track down the red one that he won gold in, but I was able to track down the blue one. And I made the National Wrestling Hall of Fame mail it to me. And there's an awesome shot in the movie I love of it being pulled off a chair.
Yeah.
Pulled off that chair.
Dramatic. Yeah.
Is Kurt's actual Olympic singlet that he wore at the 1996 Olympics for the first matches before the gold medal.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of other examples like that as well. Like all of his original Foxcatcher stuff is in the movie. His original Foxcatcher training logs. At one point I was like, Kurt, I'm doing a shot where I'm filming a suitcase that you just packed. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, send me one of your actual singlets from WWE because I'm going to put it in the suitcase. And he was like, oh, God. And the guy is so nice that he actually went and mailed it to me and allowed me to shoot that. And then I mailed it back to him. So that's just a couple examples. And if you look at all the B-roll shots in the movies, there's a slew of other things I could pull out as well that fans can hopefully see.
If folks aren't excited to watch the documentary prior to, WWE pumping it up, but you're listening to this podcast, I guarantee they are excited now. So I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing some of this stuff, from down to the props to the music to all of it.